back to another video. So I was about to get into my zones going into today's NYSE session. So I said, let me just do a video quickly, going through my zones and finding my zones and show you all what I'm looking for so you can get like a rough understanding about what's going on. However, this isn't my full strategy. I do have the full strategy somewhere in those videos on my channel, but I've been refining the strategy a little bit more and more every single time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it in phases so that it's not like overly complicated, and you'll see the sort of criteria I'm looking for when I'm taking some trades. Unfortunately, over the last like 2 days, market hasn't been playing out to our strategy perfectly, because it's always been ranging and going up like 100 pips, down 100 pips, and it's like just been a bit crazy. But when we get into a back testing video, you guys will understand exactly how perfect the strategy works and why it has, like, I would say honestly over 90% win rate. Yeah, you will understand when we backtest when we have normal market conditions. But unfortunately, we just have to work with what we have at the moment and try and control ourselves to not enter any trades that are not necessary. So how we find our bank zones is on the 30-minute chart, right? So if we can see here, price is currently here, right? So what I'm looking for, first thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for two breakout zones. One breakout zone to the upside and one breakout zone to the downside. So essentially what that means is I'm looking for two bank zones in the closest area of where current price action is, right? So if price is here, I'm looking for a zone above here, I'm looking for a zone below here, just so that it can trigger a breakout pattern, because that's technically what our strategy works with. But now the only issue is, what is the time? So it's 20 past, let's just say 20 past 7. Price is still going to play around, but let me get the main zones for TP levels today, right? So if we buy, the weekly pivot is here, right here. So if you see this here, the weekly pivot, this line that I have drawn here is the medium range for yesterday's US session. So there's the US session and this is the medium range, and I'll show you once we get into the strategy and when we're trading live, you'll understand why this area is so important. Okay, so let's look for some zones now. So I need some sell zones, right? So I'm looking at, remember, for zones we're looking at this gray area. So these are US sessions, and the zone that we take is only from the high or the low, and we take it from the top of the wick to the body of the candle, right? So for example, if I'm looking for the closest range below here, the closest bank zone, there's one there, that's a low, and then you have to see if they are true ranges and bank zones. Sorry, the way you see that is by, when you draw out the zone, you need to go to the left and see if price was respected at that zone before. And if price was respected at the zone, then you know it's a true zone, and price will always react when we come to it. So like this, I would say this is a true zone, because you can see we had the low here, and then in the same zone we had a high here, we had a high here, and we could say essentially we had this low also. So this is definitely a true zone. So I'm going to take this zone, I'll actually just draw it from here. Okay, let's get that. Okay, and the nice thing is that you can see it's lining up with the weekly S1 also, so that's extra confirmation. So we always look for these extra confirmations to tell us if our zone is stronger than it is, because a bank zone itself is very strong. When you get a bank zone along with other confluences, then you know, like, it's really a strong zone and we're going to get some action there. So it's going to be a TP sell zone. So my red zones are where I'm looking for TP levels for my sells, because we're going to have a breakout if we're selling from here, and then this will be TP1, and then we'll carry on like that. So we've got that one level. Then I think the next level is, so we have this low here, we have a low here, and then we have a low down here. So I won't take from here to there because that's a big zone. I don't like so big zones. So okay, I think let's take this zone. Yeah, I'm happy with this zone. Okay, so we got that zone, and you can see that's lining up with the previous week's S1. So a little bit of extra, but it's not the most relevant because it's not the current week's support level. Right, so I think we've got enough sell zones. See, we need to watch out for this zone also, because you can see how it wicked down and it created a zone here. This could potentially be our breakout zone today if price hovers above this area before NYSE open. This could potentially become our breakout zone, because from what I can see, so we created this bank zone, it didn't respect it here, it didn't respect it here, it didn't respect it here. It had a reaction of it, but it didn't create another bank zone. So this is definitely a key area that we're going to be looking at today. I'm not going to pull it across, but I'm just leaving it there just for the sake of having it there, right? Just so I remember later on. Okay, so we got those sell zones. Buy zones, I'm not really looking at some buy zones today because I don't see us going all the way up. However, anything can happen. So this will be my number one buy zone. This is TP levels for buys. And then where else? So we have this level here. Now we were stuck in a range here, so we're gonna have a strong level somewhere here. So we have this. Was it tested? It was tested here again. I think it's a strong zone, but let me look for another one. I would actually take this one because we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to take this zone. So this is another buy zone. Oh, and it's a high here. Yeah, perfect. This is definitely good. So let's take this one. So this is another buy zone. Okay, and it's above the weekly pivot and the medium range from yesterday. So if we actually do start pushing that side, this is extra confirmation that we are going to go long. Okay, so I think those are the main zones that I'm doing for now in terms of bank zones for TP levels. I don't have my breakout zones as yet, but from what I can see, my breakout zones are essentially going to be probably around here and here, the high and the low. That's what I'm going to wait for a breakout for. So yeah, we'll catch the next video, or we'll probably go live, or I'll just send a screenshot on the group for the breakout zones once they form. I only like doing the breakout zones once we get to like 5 minutes before NYSE, because that's when we can actually get a clear zone. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Cheers.